Hello, everyone. Mario Velasco, owner broker for AP Start Realty. And today we're going to go over the buyer's walkthrough confirmation and acceptance form. And this form is very important. I usually, in my brokerage, we're required to do a walkthrough with your buyer at the property at least a day before closing or within 24 hours of closing, just to make sure the client, the buyer is happy before they go to closing. So let's go ahead and get started. On the first line of the form, you're going to write down the address of the property that you're going to be closing. Now, letter A and B, we're talking about inspections. And typically, when you are working with a buyer, you will ask them if they want to do an inspection on the property. And if I usually I emphasize this a lot, that I usually tell the buyer that it is very important to do an inspection of the property. So it's their choice if they want to do it, but I usually put a good emphasis on that for them to do an inspection, just to make sure they're aware of any of the condition of the property they like. So here, if they did an inspection of the property, we select the first box. If your client decided not to do an inspection initially, then you select the second box. Now, re-inspections, typically if you negotiate any repairs on the property, and you usually ask your client if they want to do a re-inspection to make sure the repairs that were performed, they were performed professionally. So it's up to the buyer if they want to do a re-inspection or not. If they decided yes, then you select the first box. If they said no, then you select the second box. Okay. So moving on, letter C, residential service contract. This is the home warranty. You have to ask them if they are interested in purchasing a residential service contract. If they say yes, you select the first box. If you say no, then you select the second box. Before closing walkthrough, if you're already at the walkthrough, you're gonna select the first box, and you're gonna, on this line, you're gonna enter the date of closing. If your client decided not to do a walkthrough before closing, then you select the second box. Now on letter E, it's sight unseen. And this happens a lot when there is people who's living in another city and they're buying this house. They couldn't go see it physically, but they still want the property. So in this, you select if your client was able to go look at the property. You select number one. If your buyer wasn't available to go see the property, but they still want it, you select box number 2. Okay. So and letter F is acceptance. Buyer accepts the property in its present condition. And that is the end of this form. And this is very important. You want to encourage your client to do a walkthrough. It is for their protection, to make sure the property is in a good condition before closing, and it is a protection for the real estate agent to make sure that your client is happy with the house as well. So that's why this is very important. And at the end, they have to sign it. Now, one thing to mention, let's say is 2 buyers and only one is available to perform a walkthrough. That is fine, as long as one person is available. It is still good. It is important for someone to go and look at the property before closing, at least one of the parties. So this concludes this information about this form. Thank you for your time. I hope this video is helpful to you. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at 915 329-5829. If you're an agent from another brokerage, contact your broker with any questions. Okay, thank you for your time, and see you in another video.